Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be out on the trail or at the racetrack. We're going to be in the shop. Wanted to introduce you to a project I've been working on the last few months. It's a project I call Ultimate Highboy. It's a 1967 F250 four-wheel drive, and been doing a lot of updates to the chassis and the engine, so I figured I would show it while it's all blown apart. So if you want to see that, stick around. Hey everyone, shop video today. So here's my Ultimate Highboy project, as I call it. 1967 F250. Started out as an F100 I bought. Picture right here. It was in pretty good shape. Didn't have any rust in it, so I thought it would be a good truck to use in this project. I know it's not an original F26 VIN Highboy, but the truck isn't going to be original, so you know, why tear up a original Highboy truck whenever I can just make an old F100 that has a lot less value and use it. So I guess we'll start here at the cab. It's real good shape, as you can see. Minimal rust, no holes, just a little bit starting there. I'm gonna do some preventative stuff there in the cab mounts, but inside here had a little bit of rust on the floor. I put some coating on there, some rust preventer coating, try to keep them from getting worse. Patched a few holes in there, but the new dash pad, that was real nice. They're real expensive, but it really makes the interiors of these trucks look really good. I was really happy with that. On the F100, they don't have this hump. This is called a high hump. This is for the standards and the C6s. This truck had a 3-speed on the column, and it's actually one piece right here. And this is out of a automatic truck, C6, 3/4 ton. So I had to cut that out and clear the transmission. More on that later. But I'm gonna have to cut a hole here for the transfer case shifter. But I'm putting an automatic in it, so it's got a column shift, so there won't be a shifter hole there. So I didn't want to use an original Highboy cover there. So other than that, in here we have using a tilt column, and it's actually a GM style column. It's a lot cheaper than doing a Ford style. Column shift, converted that, and I actually machined the original steering wheel and welded in the right spline count for the steering column so I could have the original steering wheel, which I thought was pretty neat, because I like these old simple steering wheels. The newer ones, I just don't think they fit the truck, so I really wanted that original steering wheel. But here's the inside of the cab. You know, nothing too crazy. This stuff was red on the original truck, the dash and the armrest and the seat and the steering column too. I changed it all to black just because I like the black a little bit better. But so that's the cab. The inside had a real nice grill on it. It's got a little bit of dent right here. I've got it out a little bit, but needs a little bit more work. But this is just going to be a driver, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Oh, I did add some rotunda mirrors on it. I think those fit the 3/4 ton look a lot better than the little mirror. It's in really good shape. Guess I could show you the bed while we're on body. Here's the bed. Has some rust on it. You know, no holes, but just surface rust showing through the paint. Come from southern Oklahoma, so Oklahoma, we don't use much salt on the road, so luckily that saves a lot of the old trucks. Bed's not beat up too bad. But this is just going to be my daily driver, so it's not going to be a show truck. Now, where the real cool stuff starts happening is the chassis. So the old Highboys, they really didn't ride all that great, and I wanted to improve that. So I went with a 3-link suspension setup with some coilovers, some King coilovers, and there's a lot that I changed up here. This is an original. It was a 73 Highboy frame. The frame is really the only thing that's left. I didn't use any of the axles off of that. They were pretty wore out. The front axle is off of a 93 F350 Dana 60, and it's a ball joint axle. And if you wonder why a lot of people don't use these on the old Highboys if they're keeping leaf springs, here's why. See the leaf spring perch there? See how it's outside the frame? The Highboys, the leaf springs are directly under the frame here, and the original axles, the perch would have been right here, and the pumpkin is a lot more in the center to clear the frame, because these are 34-inch frame. That's why it's a pain to get them to work. So, but I was doing coilovers, so I knew that didn't matter, and I didn't want to have to pay for a pre-79 Dana 60, so these are a lot cheaper. On the 3-link, I have a kit from Artec, and it's a just standard 3-link. There's the upper link there, and it was a little bit of a hassle to get everything to clear the tower up here, because I'm keeping the stock height, so everything's a lot lower than your normal, built off-road rig. So clearance right here with the oil pan was an issue, and the motor mount up here. But I got it all to work, and got the anti-dive to all be happy. So hopefully it drives great. Obviously I haven't driven it yet, but everything is adjustable, so I can adjust caster and everything. So here's the other side. Now right here I have an Curry anti-rock sway bar, just because when you add coilovers, it gets a little loose, so I didn't want to be rotating all over the road, so added a sway bar up here just for drivability. And for the steering, it's a lot different than factory. The original Highboys, they had a steering box here. The early ones were non-power steering. There was an arm that came through the frame right here, and a lever that went to the axle right here. It was all just right here. So if you have any kind of travel or any kind of articulation, you don't have much movement right here for your drag link, or I'm not sure what they call that little link right there on a different style setup, but not the greatest for something like this that's going to have a lot of travel and a lot of articulation. So what I did is I cut the front of the frame off, and the front of the frame was all beat up. This frame was a old farm truck. The cross member up here was all beat up and welded, and had pieces of angle iron welded up here to patch the frame from it, bumpers falling off of it and stuff. So I didn't cut up a perfect frame here, but I cut the frame here, and these are actually off of a 2005 Super Duty, these front frame sections, both of these. And I made it to where the Super Duty cab mount here matches the radiator support on the 67 here, so that all works with that, and it has this provision for a Super Duty gearbox. And I have this redhead gearbox left over from my Project Super Duty pre-runner. When I put power assist steering on it, we took this redhead box on it, and we had to put the PSC gearbox on that one. So this gearbox is off of a Super Duty, so it's going to be tough power steering. And I have a typical drag link setup here with GM tie rods, big quarter wall steering linkage, so it's tough. So just kind of standard stuff. Didn't do any high steer or anything on it because it's not going to be a rock crawler. It's only got 32-inch tires on it, so it'll do good for street driving. And right here, I don't have it on here, but I have a steering stabilizer that goes from right here down to here. So it's not all put on there yet because it's still getting put together, and I had to take everything off to paint it. Oh, here's the drag link. Here's another part of the 3-link suspension that's mandatory that the Highboy wouldn't have had. Drag link, it centers the axle side to side, so that's what keeps your axle centered in the chassis when it's going up and down. And with the drag link, as it goes up and down, your axle will move side to side, in and out just a little bit, just because there's an arch. But it works pretty good. Right now, it doesn't have any weight on it, so obviously the suspension's pretty much up all the way. These are 12-inch coilovers here. So we have 12 inches of suspension travel, which is a lot more than a factory Highboy. And it sets pretty much at factory ride height with the cab and the engine in it, which turned out pretty good. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get everything packed up in there to where it set low enough, but it worked out pretty good. The tires are, we call them grip spurs because back in the day they were Co-op brand grip spurs and they had this pattern on them, but these are Gateway buckshot mudders, as they call them. They have that old school look. They probably are not going to drive that great on the highway, but they sure do look cool. And these wheels are a Dorman wheel for actually a OBS pickup. So they're 6 inches wide, or no, 7 inches wide. I'll have to look. They're wider than the original wheels, but they worked out great there. You know, 1-piece wheel. The old originals were 2-piece. You don't really want to run those, but painted them white. They're originally gray. Here's the transmission cross member. It's a lot different than the factory setup. I'm running a 6R80 transmission and a 205 transfer case, and originally the Highboys had a divorce transfer case. It would have been bolted to this cross member. The transfer case would have been bolted to the chassis and had a drive line between the transmission and transfer case, and then drive line from transfer case to the front and the rear. There's 3 drive lines on an old Highboy. It's called a divorce transfer case. Well, I'm switching to a married, just so it simplifies things. We have a MP.2 bolts up to the 6R80. So on the rear, can't really show you as good because I have the bed on here, but it actually has a Dana 70, has a Dana 70 out of a 75 Camper Special Super Cab. So it has the big Dana 70 in it. Limited slip rear end. So, and I upgraded to disc brakes on the rear as well. So we have disc brakes front and rear. These are Skyjacker soft ride leaf springs, 4 inches of lift for a Highboy. Now what I did is I got these 4-inch lift springs and took the block out. So now it's sitting at factory height, and the springs are sitting right on the axle. And that helps you in a couple ways, mostly axle wrap and things like that. On a factory Highboy, this probably wouldn't work out very good because they do have a tapered block on the bottom. I guess you could take that out, but I was putting new leaf spring perches on this so I could set my pinion angle where I wanted it with everything the way it was. So that's not the application these are supposed to be. They're supposed to have the block underneath them, but I didn't want it to be 4 inches higher, so it's sitting at factory ride height with these. And my exhaust, that's actually off of a 2005 Super Duty 6-liter diesel exhaust. It's going to be 2-into-1. That's 3.5-inch exhaust right there. But yeah, here's the rear end. It's pretty neat having the old school Dana 70 here. It's not a dually axle, it's a single wheel. So it's a lot bigger when you put it next to the old Dana 60s that these had in the rear. So yeah, here's the chassis. I think I covered most of the stuff on it. Right over here, this is the transmission transfer case setup. This is just an old 360 engine that I used for mock-up. So this is a 6R80. It's out of like an F-150 with the 5-liter Coyote motor, and it has a adapter plate for the FE. And I have a standalone computer to control this. And here's the 205. It has an advanced adapter there. Had to do a lot of modifying to get that to work, to clear the shifter here. And made this. I made my own shifter. I don't have it here, but made my own shifter to work with that. So I guess next thing would be the engine. Here's the engine. I am getting it ready for paint currently, but it actually is a 428 industrial engine. It was used to pump irrigation wells. Picked it up at an auction. It has a easy way to tell the industrial motors here is they have this webbing here. Some late FEs have that as well, but I think this engine was built in '75, I believe, and it was remanufactured by Ford at some point. We did a whole rebuild on it. It's got 40 over pistons in it, forged pistons, and we did a little bit of work on the heads. The heads got Cobra jet valves in them and stuff, adjustable rockers, comp cams. Big thing is we have this Edelbrock ProFlow 4 intake on it, which is port injection. So it's fuel injection, but it's injected here at the ports. So a little different than just your throttle body injection where the injectors are up here. Hoping I get a little bit better drivability out of that. So getting ready that ready for paint. And I have some original 428 valve covers here. These are pretty nice. Those came off of a Cobra Torino. So yeah, that's my project I've been working on. Hopefully I have it done a month or so, and we'll have to do a lot of tuning on the computer and stuff and transmission, get that all sorted out. That'll be an unknown that I don't know how much work that's going to be yet, but when I get it all figured out, I'll be sure and post a video here and show you guys all that. So thanks for watching.